I found an item in a box of glassware in South Louisiana. It is a metal object featuring a lip and a trap door, along with an attached holder that has side slots. The item weighs 1.5 pounds and measures 7 inches by 5 inches by 5 inches. The trap door can be swiveled using knobs on either side or by applying pressure to a plate. There are no identifying marks, and the item does not disassemble. I attempted to use Google image search, but was unable to find a match. In text searches yielded no relevant results. The item could date back to the late 1970s at the earliest, but it was found alongside items from the late 19th century. My initial impression was that it might be a banquet refuse bowl. However, I am uncertain how to open it, which raises concerns about its cleanliness for that purpose or as an ashtray. Additionally, the lip appears too large for a cigarette, and the holder seems capable of containing more than 20 cigarettes, which aligns with the standard for cigarette holders from 1931 onward. Any idea what this is made for? It's antique ashtray. You tilt the bottom when filled with ash to empty it. The back holder would have been for a box of matches, with the strike area of the box exposed. I found a metal object in Durham, North Carolina. It appears to be quite sturdy, resembling hammered metal, and is approximately the size of a hand. There are no movable parts, and it is secured to the ground, likely with concrete or a similar material beneath the dirt. It looks old, but I have no clue as to what it is. Any ideas? This is a base of one of those little things you ride on in the park, like a big duck or something. That coil around the outside is the old spring, and you can see where they used a grinder to cut it off flush, so it's definitely a sprung riding toy. I visited an old gold mine, where I observed an exhibit in a museum located in Alaska, USA. The display featured wings crafted from wood with metal spikes. Additionally, the museum housed numerous tools that were not specifically related to gold mining. Anyone know what this is? In Swedish, it's called a heckle, and according to Translate, it's called a heckle in English, and is used to brush through flax so the straws soften, and you're able to spin the flax and then weave. I found a metal object affixed to the counter in an old house in Michigan, which is marked with J5. The crank can be turned manually, but its purpose remains unclear. I attempted to search for it using Google Images, but did not find any results. Any ideas what this thing is? It's can opener. My metals professor in college does not know what this thing is, and we are as well, despite him having several of varying sizes. The box contains no information beyond what is depicted in the photo. The object appears to be made of a ceramic material and features an inverted dome at its center. It resembles a ceramic disc or plate and seems to have relevance in metal forming or an art metal studio. We suspect that Superior may be the manufacturer, but our online searches have yielded no results. The age of the item is uncertain, and it weighs approximately 1 pound and 2 pounds respectively for the sizes. It's around 2.5 inches on both sides. Any ideas what this thing is? It is a slate dish for grinding flux. Back in the day, you put a little water in it and rubbed a borax cone in it to make up the day's flux. This object is a circular metal ring approximately 5 inches in diameter, featuring 8 spokes that connect to a mid-sized ring and converge at a smaller central ring. The base of the metal ring is attached to a flat bracket, secured by a single pin. The bracket includes 4 corner holes with 2 opposing holes fitted with small screws. Anyone know what this is? This is an anti-aircraft gun sight used during World War II. I found a metal knocker located on a pew in the Montreal Notre Dame Basilica. It is hinged at the top, and when you press the small indent, it lifts upward. However, it does not produce a significant sound when struck like a traditional knocker. These fixtures were present on the backs of many pews throughout the basilica. Any idea what this is made for? Those are hat clips from the time people wore hats to church. It is also a paper holder for hymns. I have them at an old Catholic school. They are on the door for the office to put papers for the teachers while not disrupting classes. My father found this earlier today using his metal detector and is uncertain about its identity. It measures approximately 5 centimeters by 4 centimeters, and the back is marked Made in England. Any ideas what this thing is? It is part of a bracelet or belt. It would have had companions joined by links on all 4 corners. I found a metal object with a square hole at the bottom that has been in my home for quite some time. Initially, I suspected it might be related to guitar equipment, but I have been unable to identify it. I attempted to search for it on Google Lens, but unfortunately, I did not find any results. Any ideas what this thing is? It's a drum key. Specifically, it's this drum key. Technically, it's the same size as a 1/4 inch water key, but this particular one is sold and marketed to drummers. I heard several clunking sounds outside my house in Central Florida and discovered an object in my backyard. It is a heavy cone composed of small spheres, seemingly made of a rusty metallic material. The bottom is flat and relatively smooth. Interestingly, the entire structure has a consistent texture. It appears to be entirely metal, and the binder does not exhibit a plastic or waxy feel, which is puzzling. I have inquired locally and conducted online searches, but no one seems to have any information about it. Any ideas? That's Orgonite, a pseudoscience energy thing. Polyester resin is an organic compound because its molecular structure contains carbon. So carbon is the identifier of what is considered organic in this equation. Some, but not all crystals contain carbon, so they too are organic. The organic compounds work to attract organy, life force energy, prana, chi, etc. The inorganic is the metal and some crystals. But metal is very important as it is the metal which most strongly activates the cleansing matrix by both attracting and repelling energy. The organic materials simply attract the energy, so without the metals you have an ineffective and inert piece of resin art. I found it a few years back, though I can't recall the exact location, likely near an abandoned railway where I used to spend time in my neighborhood. It's a hollow metallic cylinder with a screw, weighing 300 grams, 0.66 pounds, and measuring 10 centimeters in length. I attempted a reverse image search, but the results yielded various objects and tools with screws, none of which resemble this one precisely. Any ideas what this thing is? That's a nutcracker for hazelnuts, macadamia.